Good afternoon, Monarchs. Last week, Steve Gable asked about my vision for Valley College. It was a great question, and I'd like to begin this week's town hall with it. When I first came to Valley College, my vision was simple: to achieve our goals of access, equity, and success. Too few of our local high school students have found college to be within their reach. We must change that. We must ensure that college is available to all students. And we must ensure that all students know that while they're here, that we will support them in achieving their educational goal. Equally important, all students, regardless of their race, ethnicity, gender, being one of our dreamers, LGBTQ, or a member of any other group, will be supported in achieving your educational goals. At Valley, we have wonderful, dedicated faculty and staff committed to these goals. We have the Promise Program, Family Resource Center, Dream Resource Center, Umoja Black Scholars Program, Veteran Resource Center, Puente, Paso STEM, CalWorks, EOPS, and many, many other programs, all designed with one goal, one focus, and that's to support you. Our faculty and staff have been busy redesigning the experience at Valley with the focus on you, the student. The coronavirus pandemic led to an even greater and abrupt change in how we serve you. Now we're delivering all services online and having all classes offered remotely or online. Our goals, access, equity, and success, however, remain unchanged. In many ways, the pandemic has ignited innovation and certainly created a sense of urgency. It has also instilled in everyone a recognition for the need to be flexible and to extend grace to one another. While we'll return to campus at some point, our goals of ensuring access, equity, and success will remain unchanged. I believe that the freedom to innovate, the urgency to act, the care and grace we extend to one another also will be enduring and carried well into the future. Now for some updates. We have received the first half of the CARES Act funding. It'll be about $3 million for Valley College. We're in the middle of planning for how to allocate those resources. At present, we're planning to allocate all of the initial $3 million directly to students, either through direct awards or for emergency stipends. Look for more information about the CARES Act funding over the next week or two in your email or through text messages. And I'll also, at future town halls on YouTube, give you updates on the CARES Act funding. Our summer schedule will be posted on Friday. Priority registration begins on May 4th, and classes will begin June 15th. LAVC has also updated our website. The center of the page has a large image with online student services and academic support. If you click on Get Help from Admissions, Financial Aid, Counseling, and more, it'll lead you to a page where you can directly access a variety of services, including all of those and more. You'll be able to live chat directly with staff, and you'll also be able to email from that page. Graduation planning is continuing. One of the options is to have a virtual recognition and to have graduation in person, celebrate the class of the 2020 when it's permitted and when it's safe to do so. Now let's see if there's any questions in the chat room. First question from Violet. I have a question. For every semester I need to submit a K-12 form to enroll in courses for that semester. How would I do that now that I can't enter campus? We'll post the email address in the group chat, but you can email our admission staff as well as START at LAVC and other folks who can help you walk you through all the processes, whether it's for dual enrollment classes through a high school or it's for other classes at Valley College. Florence asked, do majors like anatomy qualify for pass, no pass? Yes, all classes can be, the grading can be changed to pass, no pass. You will want to check with a counselor just to make sure that there's not going to be any inadvertent negative impacts. But every class can be changed to pass, no pass. Araceli asked what to do if you haven't heard from a professor about enrollment in a late start class. If the class has already started, if the late class start has already began, then, and you haven't heard from your professor, feel free to email your professor. You can also email the department chair for that department or the dean and find out more, just to make sure that there's not an error in email addresses not coming across. Colin asked, how should students apply for a certificate or an AA? We'll post in the group chat the address to petition to graduate, but you can petition to graduate all online. Liz asked, is the drop date still May 10th? The drop date is still May 10th, and if anyone drops now, they will not be getting a W, but they'll get an excused withdrawal or an EW, which will not have an impact to your GPA or financial aid. We're also working on the ability for students to be able to drop with an EW after May 10th, but currently the system's programmed so that students can drop before May 10th, and they'll receive an EW. There's a question, what should I do if I submitted my mailing address in order to receive a Chromebook but have not yet received it? If you have responded to the email asking for your address for the Chromebook, it'll be shipped to you within the next few days. They're shipping every day Chromebooks, so you should receive it in the next few days. If you haven't yet responded, if you've applied for a Chromebook but have not yet responded to the email at your LACCD email address, do log into your LACCD email account and look for an email. It may not appear to be from Valley College, but look for an email that asks for your email address for the Chromebook. That will help us get it shipped out to you. Joseph asked, will summer courses be taken online? Yes. All summer classes currently are planned to be online or offered through remote delivery. If we are able to add in-person classes at a later date, we'll do so when it's safe to add them. Question, if you have a smart pen, where should you return it? For anything that you might have borrowed in the course of one of your classes, hang on to it at the moment, and we'll give you instructions later on how you can return it. You can also email, if you received it from your professor, you can email your professor just to remind them that you have the item. There's a question about the machine shop course and when we'll be able to resume in-person classes. We'll be resuming the in-person classes as soon as it's safe to do so. We don't currently have a date for that. Out of the close to 1,400 class sections, 23 were not able to be moved completely to online or remote delivery. For those 23 classes, and that includes a couple that were the machinist classes, those have to have some in-person experiences. And as soon as we can add them back, we'll be emailing students to let them know. A question about the CARES Act funding from Razine and how will students receive it. We're still working out a lot of the details. For the initial funding, it'll likely come through the regular financial aid process. So for students who have applied for financial aid and received an award, or received a fee waiver, then we'll likely be able to disperse the CARES Act funding through the same mechanism that students receive their financial aid. There's a question about professors and group research projects. And for any questions about specific courses and projects, you'll want to talk with your instructors about how best to complete them. Judith asked, what is the best way to reach admissions and records if the enrollment system isn't letting you add a class? And we'll post, I'll ask Florentino to post into the group chat the address, email address for admissions, but you can email admissions and they'll help you resolve the issue. You can also live chat with admissions from that same link I mentioned a few minutes ago. There's another question from Natalie about folks who did not receive an emergency stipend when they applied previously. And will you need to reapply for the, I presume that it refers to CARES Act funding. We'll send you more details about that as soon as we get it. The previous emergency stipends, we received quite a number of responses, and there was limited funding, so not all students were able to be funded with the emergency stipends. The CARES Act funding will be substantially more, and we'll be able to provide funding for many more students through that. The details on how to apply will email and text the students when they're determined. Cindy asked, when will we be notified about graduation arrangements? I would expect that we'll have the plans determined in about a week or two, and then as soon as we know what the plans are, we'll send those out to students. Aaron asked, do we get to keep the Chromebooks? Yes, all Chromebooks that were provided through the LACCD Foundation and LA Valley College Foundation is also contributing some resources for students that applied through the student portal. You can keep those Chromebooks. You do not have to return them. Teresa asked, when and where are the Chromebooks expected to be returned? Similarly from the last question, no need to return the Chromebooks. Students who were awarded Chromebooks get to keep them. Sunny posted a comment that they've sent a pass, no pass application a couple of times but haven't received an answer. We'll post again the admissions email address in the group chat, but email the admissions office the question and your name and student ID so they can follow up and confirm that everything went through okay. Marcus asked, is the emergency stipend different from the CARES Act funding? Yes, the emergency stipend is different than the CARES Act funding. The emergency stipends, the funding source was the LA Valley College Foundation. The CARES Act funding is coming from the federal government. So we're thankful that we can offer the additional funding to students. Sue asked my question about the summer session. Will they be live Zoom classes or guided self-paced classes offered via Canvas? Both types of classes are being offered this summer. Some are synchronous or live at the same time, and some are asynchronous or at times when students could go on a more self-paced approach. And the schedule of classes will indicate whether or not the classes are being offered live or if they will be asynchronous. Naz asked, how can I contact the Career and Transfer Center? If you go to Contact Us on our homepage, you'll be able to find all the contact information, email addresses, and phone numbers for the different departments on campus. We'll also post in the group chat the email address for the Career and Transfer Center. Jessica asked, are we getting our FAFSA this Thursday? Yes, FAFSA disbursements will continue as originally scheduled. There's been no changes to the FAFSA disbursement dates. And the last question that we have, will there be 2 summer sessions? And what will the dates be? Yes, there are multiple summer sessions. So check on our website on the Valley College homepage, and we'll have more information posted on Friday with all the details for the summer session. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the questions. Remember that we're here to serve you. Please let us know how we can help support you in these challenging times. You're doing a terrific job. Everyone is doing amazing work in this new environment in the midst of the pandemic, and keep up the wonderful work. Thank you, and have a great week.